Okay, now that we've installed the deprogramming program to actually help you eliminate some of the bad things that you've accumulated in your subconscious over time, now that we've done that, we're going to know how to implement and use it on a day-to-day basis. And you can use this for every thought that comes crowding into your mind. You can use this for every uncomfortable feeling. You can even try this on physical states in your body, because it will eliminate physical states that are being held there by mental programming, mental states that have not been supporting you physically at all. And you can try this, as I said, just if you're not sure, just try it on something and see what happens. And I think you're going to be very pleased and you're going to be very surprised. So the first thing I want you to do is to kind of drift into a problem, something that's kind of making you feel a little uncomfortable, a little anxious or upset, depressed, just something doesn't feel good in it. You don't even have to have the whole picture of it, just a little piece of it. And so go into that feeling or thought and then say Q word in your mind, or actually you can say it out loud, either way. Okay. And then the next thing is, as you will remember, the stoppers that we put into your program, or the stoppers, we want them to be acknowledged. So say stoppers and Q word, because those stoppers that we're acknowledging, we want them removed. So stoppers, Q word. And then, because people start to experience a lot of anger at themselves about in this part of the process, sometimes they feel a lot of, as I said, self-hatred almost rising up as they're starting to eliminate these things, kind of a kickback here. What we want you to speak to is that part of the programming that has to be diminished and removed. Anger at self, and then Q word. Anger at self, Q word. And then lastly, the unforgiveness part. So speak to that in your head or out loud, unforgiveness, and then Q word. So those 4 things. Now, as you've done that, considered your problem, and gone through these steps, now go back to the problem right now and kind of consider how much impact it has right now, how much effect it's having on you. Chances are, if you've been able to step through and your subconscious has gotten enough deprogramming information, chances are you're going to notice that that initial thought or struggle that you had in your head doesn't have near the emotional component that it did when you started this, because the subconscious mind has just been taught to jettison a lot of that extra stuff. And if it continues to remain in some fashion, I want you to go back and step through these 4 steps wherein you remember it, you speak your Q word, you take the stoppers, you speak your Q word, because we're eradicating all stoppers attached to this. You speak out anger at self, we're removing that, Q word. Speak out unforgiveness, we're removing that, Q word. And then go back to the original problem area. What you'll probably find is that for each problem area that comes into your mind, there's like a number of little strings, if you will, hanging off of it. And you can take each one of those threads, each one of those little thoughts, but each one should diminish in some degree of their power over your thinking. And eventually will have no power over your thinking, and you will have none of the old programming left. and you have been successful in eradicating it. The one client this morning who was doing this, she was saying that it's changing, and her husband noticed that he was feeling lighter after he did this. I've noticed that I feel lighter. I notice that it's almost like something is being pulled off of me, and I think that is actually part of the key. In some senses, something is being pulled off of you, something that's been pulling you down and keeping you from actually being as free as you could be. So if you need any more assistance, if you find that while this started you on the path to moving toward getting some resolution, but you're still kind of a little bit stuck, then maybe you need a little more extra work, a little more deprogramming, if you will. Actually, we all need some element of deprogramming, because we are programmed every day by the world to think less highly of ourselves than we should, to think, or more highly perhaps. It can go either way. But for most of us, I think there are self-esteem struggles and just trying to cope with life and not feeling like we're capable of coping with life most of the time, and especially in the burdens of today that we have. So if you are struggling in any way, or even if you're just looking to become a little bit more successful, and remove any blockages to the success that you could be experiencing, and I do mean success as in every way that we think of success today, then I think being freer is the way to proceed, and this is definitely the way to begin to make you more free, by releasing your subconscious from all the bondage that it's been invested in for so long to allow you to function as a fully free human being. So I hope this helps.